Yeah, everyone, this is Thermite, and this is Weekly Shonen Jump for the week of June 16th, 2019. On the cover, we have Kimetsu no Yaiba. I don't have any context for what's going on in this arc, but I've got to say, I love the anime. I really do. I didn't care at all for Volume 1 of the manga, but the Volume 1, the content of the anime that Volume 1 also covered was so good. And I've been following the anime, ever since that point. So I really hope we get a season 2. I mean, I know Ufotable is, they're facing some problems. They didn't pay their taxes. But I hope they manage to pull through. Partially because of, Fate Stay Night. I really want to see the rest of the movies come out. But I also, now, I want to see them do the rest of Kimetsu. I don't want a One Punch Man Season 2 to happen to Kimetsu no Yaiba Season 2. Anyways, this week's a bit interesting. There's not a whole lot that I'm covering this week because One Piece is not on. One Punch Man comes out on Wednesday. I was thinking about delaying the live stream until Wednesday, but I don't think I'm going to. It's just a pain for everyone. It's hard for me to schedule things. It's also just annoying for people who are reading Jump to have to wait until Wednesday, at which point the hype's kind of died down. That said, Food Wars is ending, today, in this issue. So I think that's going to be suitably pretty hype. Once that's done, my pre-recordeds are going to shrink a bit. I don't know what I'll do. I assume we're going to get more series, so I'll probably get something else to put in the pre-recordeds, but I might also just move We Never Learn into the pre-recordeds, and then, fill that out a bit more, and then also slim down the live streams. I'm not sure. I'm still thinking about it. But let's not get hung up on that. Let's move right into Actage, Chapter 69. Oh boy. I don't think even even Western comics, even lewd ones, or mature ones, don't tend to do something special for 69. I think everyone makes a joke about it, but it rarely ever happens unless it is a super crude comic. So he put out the challenge of, hey, Kate, you really think you can serve as my plates? Do you think you can make me forget Kuriyama? Okay. 3 days, right? Okay, so Amachi has been taken as a hostage. Which, really, there's no downside to this. Even if she does get better, she could just say, no, never mind, I'm actually really bad. Please kill Amachi. I believe in you, Yanagi. I mean, because of her own pride, she's not going to let it drop. She's going to make this happen somehow. But I mean, this is his problem. He screwed up. Alright, scene 69, 3 days. How is she going to do it? I assume we're going to see all 3 days because that's what the chapter's called. I mean, yeah, stoke up the pressure. Yanagi works really well under pressure. Especially now that, the person who's always been on her side, in her corner, is now her enemy for all intents and purposes. Right. But then again, I think his assistant, makes sense. Sure, even if you're her opponent, does that mean she can't ask for advice? That's a thing that rivals do sometimes. Come to think of it, the director never showed up. Huh. That is true. I kind of just assumed, I guess, no, Amachi's the producer. He's not the director. I was about to say, wait a minute, I thought we had enough people there. But no, I was just kind of assuming that Amachi would also direct for whatever reason. Okay, nope, she's rejecting it. That's really good. The moment he steps in, she immediately goes oh, never mind, that's not what I wanted at all. That's not why I came here. Okay. But now, who could the director be? It makes me think it must be the director from either Death Island or, I mean, obviously it can't be, no. Death Island's director is really the only, director we know of that is still also around. I mean, it's either that or, someone from the film club, but there's no way, because this is super duper high profile. So maybe it's someone completely new. That would make sense. He's leaving in order to make her bond with someone else as her director, so she doesn't become totally reliant on him. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. I thought she was going to elaborate on it, but it does make sense. He's taking it way more seriously than he probably was at the start, because now he gets it. Yeah, these actresses are serious as well, and he can't just look out for Yanagi's, well-being. He has to look out for everyone now, because these are some crazy people. Okay, what do I do with these 3 days? I hope you weren't thinking about climbing a volcano to get into character or something like that. Oh, that's it! Oh boy! Oh boy! Well, here we go. Does Japan have volcanoes, though? I mean, I know Mount Fuji is a volcano, but it doesn't erupt. Like, it's not a volcano in the sense that you couldn't go to it and be like, oh yeah, there's magma down here. This is the volcano experience. I mean, I guess she is doing it anyways. Ah, I love that too. She didn't even bother wearing a different outfit. She is just wearing the outfit she always wears. She's just walking up the mountain. It's not a hike. If I can play a goddess, I won't be upstaged by old 3 locks. That does make sense. Like, in order to fully embody the feeling of being a princess that lives in the mountains. This is good. Like, it's been a while since we've seen her, like, really pull from her own past, because we've seen so much of her past already. Like, it doesn't make sense to keep on doing it, to be like, oh yeah, this reminds Yanagi of the time when she too was in the mountains. Like, she's gotta start making new experiences if she's gonna continue method acting. Ah, that is scenic. Like, I don't really think of Actage as having great backgrounds, because, like, it is such a human-focused series. Like, either it's human-focused or it's kind of abstract, but this is pretty cool. Like, it's not hyper-detailed, but it does give off that feeling of being up super-duper high. How dare you call me a plate? If you're the meat, I'm the rice! The rice! 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 Okay, well then. I mean, this is pretty cool. But I like that we seem to be going into this this moment of, why am I here though? Like, this was real cool, but what did I get out of this? Who is this? Oh, this is the director, isn't it? Okay. That's gotta be it. Like, the director went here specifically because she was like, alright, if I were here, if I could see Lady Ironfan, like, what would she be like? And then Kay did the exact same thing. Oh, jeez. Holy crap. Why are they all flashing through my mind? Am I about to die? I mean, she's gotta save her, right? There's the 1% chance that Actage is being cancelled, in which case this would be a crazy way to end the series, but there's no way, there's no way. God, seriously. I mean, of all the ways to put in a life flashing before her eyes moment, like, a more traditional series would have had to be a car crash or something. This is way more dramatic. That was close. And at the same time, I relaxed for an instant when I realized that no one would suspect you if you suspect a thing if you died in a mountain accident. Okay, what a strange concept. Like, huh? Oh. Director and scriptwriter Hanako Yamanoe, author of the play Princess Ironfan. So first of all, I was just saying that, this was a pretty wild thing for her to say. Like, it says a lot about her character. I don't know quite what it says, but it does say something about her, that her first thought was, oh, this isn't really my fault, or, no one's gonna think it's my fault, so I'm not gonna get in trouble. But okay, so that's really cool, because now we have, the super famous, super powerful director on one side, and then on this side, we have the person who wrote the source material, who I imagine, like, she could bring out more of the true intent of the source material, while also being, like, more critical. Like, Kuriyama's going to be more loose about it, because he has his own vision, his distinct vision, but he hasn't been with the material for that long, so he'd be more, like, loose with it. He might let the actors, like, ad-lib a tiny, maybe not ad-lib, because they have to stick to the script, but he might let them, do more with their bodies that they wouldn't have intentionally, meant to have done before. Whereas she's going to be a stickler. Like, these characters, I mean, they are public domain characters, but, like, they're so ingrained in her spirit, like any author. Like, it's so close to her, and therefore she's going to be much more critical of everyone. Which I think might also help with, like, it depends. Huh. Because I was gonna say, Ogami might be, like, this might be a problem for Ogami because he's so used to just playing himself that maybe she's gonna be super pissed off that he's not really acting. But he has that charisma. He might just make her swoon. Like, she feels like the kind of character who might, because she isn't very goofy here, because she seems fairly serious, she might have an unexpected goofy side when Ogami shows up. But okay, and she's specifically mentioning that energy. Like, this energy. The energy of, how dare you? Like, no, I won't die. Or not even I won't die, but I won't be beaten by her. Like, as I'm dying. Dying means that I lose in this duel on the this play duel. Oh boy. Yeah, I am suitably excited. This was a good chapter. I mean, I say that every week, and I'm not going to do the usual spiel about how, oh no, it always sinks to the bottom. Like, whatever. I do think this is going to be pretty solid, though. Like, the big question is going to be, can it beat Samurai 8? Can it beat Tokyo Shinobi Squad? Because Black Clover and Food Wars, like, Black Clover has always been consistently pretty high. And Food Wars, this is the end of Food Wars. Like, if this chapter of Actage is better than the final chapter of Food Wars, like, that says something good about Actage, but it says something horrifying about Food Wars. Anyways, let's move on. Next is Black Clover, chapter 209. So we're starting off right where we left off last time. We've got Asta, we've got Yuno. They both have super powerful swords now. I mean, I was gonna say, like, Asta really got the better deal here because Yuno's sword really only works if he has, magic from other people around. But I guess, like, I was reading too deeply into it when I started that sentence. Like, he can do this whenever he wants, and it even has a Starlight Breaker slash like Spirit Bomb sort of thing where he can just gather up mana. Like, it is super useful in this specific instance, but I can see how it could branch out to like other things. Whereas like Asta's ability, like, to be fair, we still haven't seen it in use yet. Like, so far, all it is just a bigger sword. A bigger sword that's a lot like his first sword. And of course, Sekra knows who this is. So what would she say? Like, being someone who has been with him, like, ever since the start, really. Like, basically the start. But that idiot also put in more work than anyone else in the kingdom, and he's the worst there is at giving up. Haha. Okay, so, can't hold it for long. It's already starting to crackle. Or actually, no, they're both crackling. Like, he's cricking the, Yuno's crackling. So I guess that might just be the, the energy. Either it's the energy, or they both are, just barely holding on to these swords. Alright, here we go! I mean, Yuno's pretty fast. I highly doubt that's... Yep, oh my god. Look at the paneling! Holy crap! It's like, we start off with the wind being swept around both of them. Then the close-up on Yuno showing that, he's the one pulling out the wind. Then, I thought they were both moving, but no. He just uses the wind to blast Asta forward. Oh my god. Like, this is a step beyond a black meteorite. This is like a black shooting star. Oh my god. Ah. All right, that's a clean hit. That's a real clean hit. I really love the perspective of it too. Like, you can see the negative space of the blade here, and then like the actual blade is still piercing through him. The anti-magic pursued the wind, and the wind magic raced through the void. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. I mean, that's it though, right? Is that not a lethal blow? That's gotta be it. Like, I mean, I guess it could just be that the, like, we saw the demon, like, survive just as a heart. Like, just as a heart, he grew a mouth, he was able to speak. So I guess he could pull a Dio, sort of. Like, his brain manages to survive, then his brain gets a mouth. Or it could just be his head, actually. Like, just his head falls off. Okay, oh boy. So now he's real pissed. Like, really, really pissed. And like, every surface of his body seems to be opening up as a mouth. So it's not even that, when his heart opens. Like, I thought that was more just, weird eldritch magic. But no, I think it's because he's a word demon. I also do like that, like, none of this is saying that, like, it is the classic, you are beneath me. Like, how dare you? How can you possibly be this strong? You don't deserve to harm someone of my caliber. Okay, so the heart did move. Oh boy, that's a lot of word magic. All of his mouths are saying different things. What is this going to be? I mean, so far it looks like it's just more of those initial things. Are all of these unique? They can't be, right? Like, this glyph system is super cool, by the way. Like, I haven't really been paying attention to it because, as far as I can tell, no one's been able to, like, crack it or even, like, figure out if it is meant to be translatable. I assume it's not. Like, I assume it is so alien that it is, like, completely unknowable. But even then, like, he should be consistent with saying the same thing repeatedly. Is that the same thing? No. The second glyph here is different. I think they all are different. But he seems to be something more of the exact same thing. Oh, boy. Yeah, if nothing changes, it'll swallow everything. How do you fight it? I mean, we have weapons that can fight. Like, yeah, Yuno can cut them, Asta can anti-magic them, but like that still takes a lot of stamina. That's the thing. Like he seems to be able to do this like effortlessly too, or like not effortlessly, but like he's not even sweating. He's not showing any level of drain. It seems like he can just do it. All right, we can't let the modern mages die. After all, they are the future of the Clover Kingdom. I've been so dead set on the idea that I don't think I've ever said that. I assume that that Licht is going to die, but like I just kind of assumed so. Whereas the first Wizard King, like I thought he was going to stay around, like he might be the current Wizard King. But I guess it could be just they sacrifice themselves again. Like now that like the demon is more powerful, sure, it's going to be more difficult, but now they have both of them on the same side. They can both use up their power to seal it once again. That would make the most sense in terms of like defeating the demon, quote unquote, without killing him. Like without being like, yeah, right now Asta and Co can defeat a demon. It would just be like, well, they were able to cause another stalemate. We have to get stronger before that seal breaks. Okay, now he's gotten less playful. Now it's just, I'm going to massacre everyone. I do like that though. Like now this is showing that like it's not just that he's mad at his dolls for not doing what he wanted, but now he is genuinely upset. Like they could have hurt him. He is like maybe not scared, but he's angry. All right, let's shut the guy up. In the beginning, I approached you in order to use you. A magicless boy just happened to acquire a 5-leaf grimoire that kept magic away. As I spent all the time with you, as I watched you fight, I began wanting to believe in you. I started to want to bet on you. Please win this, Asta! Oh my god. That is extremely hype. What a fantastic chapter. My gosh. I mean, I think with Black Clover, like, it is very consistent, but at the same time, like, I think it's within arcs that I start to get less hyped. Like, it's not that anything was wrong about this. It's just, like, because the fight's been going on, I've been getting a tiny bit less hyped, but it's still really good. And this 2-page spread especially is masterfully done. Like, the co-op fighting in Black Clover is the best, and seeing Yuno and Asta fighting together is always a treat. Like, I don't want to downplay that. It's going to be a while before we get to see this again, because I assume they're going to split up again after this arc. That's just how it goes, and I'm relishing it. I'm really relishing it. I'm really glad the two of them were able to, like, upgrade together, side by side. Ah, so good. Like, to the point of basically, like, nearly being able to land a killing blow. Even then, like, it doesn't seem like he's been, like, he can't heal that at all. Like, the wound is still there. So, it looks like he's just desperate. The big question, I guess, is if they kill him, will everything else go back to the other dimension or not? Like, I hope so. If not, I don't know how else they could possibly solve this. Like, it's either they seal him or they kill him. Like, that's the thing. Like, now that he's had this blow inflicted upon him, he can't skedaddle. As much as I would want him to stick around, if he's gonna stick around, he has to be sealed. I guess the third option would be, like, a super demon shows up and slaps everyone and says, "Ha, my tiny brother, weakest of the Council of 10, come with me." Then he opens up a portal and throws the word demon inside. Like, that's always very possible if they wanted to do a full, like, a typical shonen, oh boy, there's a whole, like, group of these ending. But I don't think they're going to do that. I feel like they're going to leave this as, like, a shocking thing. Like, we're going to see that the word demon is, like, the ceiling. He's going to be the scariest thing alive for a while now. And then eventually we'll, they'll expand it, but it'll take a little bit. Like, because, like, having this as our terror for quite a while would make a lot of sense. Especially since he is tied to, basically, the entire history as we know it of the Clover Kingdom. All right, good chapter of Black Clover. I'm gonna definitely put it above Actage. Like, it's the same as usual. Actage this week was really good though, so let's see how it goes. Let's see how both of these stack up against Food Wars, chapter 315, plate 315, Shokugeki no Soma. That's it. We're doing it. This is the end. Kind of a boring color page for the end, for the final chapter. Like, it's I do appreciate it when a series does like a very simple final page or a very simple final color. But I don't know, this feels like a little eh. Let's see how it goes though. Like how does Erina respond to this? We're gonna get at least one Oh, actually, I just realized we've never seen her do the gifting. Like, theoretically, she should be able to. It's just, we've never seen her do it. It's always been, she's been impressed, but she's barely holding it together. If she does her gifting here, that'd be a really cool thing to do for the final chapter. I mean, the fact that we have to do this, like, in the final chapter, and we still haven't seen what she made, like, I'm a little worried about the presentation. Instead of freezing it, he must have poached the egg before deep frying it this time, right? Right? Just how much has he trained? How hard has he practiced to make this single dish? Oh, that's so cool. That's right, the Hell Camp, way back when. Eggs Benedict was the first dish Yukihira saw me make. Like, I do like that. I like that we have come all the way around. And, like, not a lot of this really ties into the training he's done. Like, maybe the hollandaise sauce. Like, that is a typically very French thing. So maybe that was part of his internship. But the pork, not really. I mean, I guess if you want to, like, as a stretch, you could tie it back to Niku. Or Nikumi, but I don't think so. I did all of it just so that someday he could serve it back to you and make you admit that you think my cooking tastes good. Right. That's it, like, he's got that boldness. That's why Soma will never crumble. He's so willing to fail. He's so willing to just keep on trying. That's really cool, because, like, that ties back to the Central arc so well. Like, Azumi wanted to make every restaurant a perfect 100 out of 100. Like, just make everything equally the best. But that was the big problem. Like, part of it was just, he was squashing their individuality. But now we see Mana's perspective, that he was going to destroy those, like, rare instances where someone goes above and beyond, where someone scores above 100 out of 100. So, who's the person you most want tasting your food right now? All right. Like, I'm sure hoping that Mana eats that. Like, she eats Soma's dish. She agrees, like, yeah, that's really good. And then Erina blows him out of the water. All I've wanted is to hear Mother say one thing. I want to taste your cooking. That's it. Come on. Is this the start of the gifting? Oh, it's happening. It's happening. Wait a minute. Is she destroying the building? Wait, what? Holy crap. Erina's gifting pulse affected not the people, but the building. Okay, that is... I don't think I have ever heard someone come up with this theory. Like, as apart from a joke of, Japan disrobes or something that ridiculous. Like, that is nuts. How could that happen? The only reason I could think of is that by polishing her skill as a chef, she also somehow strengthened the power of her pulse. I mean, I guess that makes sense. Like, we know that those with the divine tongue are good chefs, but maybe it's like, the fact that she's pushed her cooking to her peak. Like, she is both the ultimate tongue and the ultimate chef. She can now create something that can baffle even the divine tongue. No! I mean, I still feel like she's gonna twist it around. It's, like, disgusting, but, secretly it's amazing. But boy, if she ends the series like refusing to admit that Soma's cooking is good, that would actually be pretty amazing. Oh, okay, I see. That dish was completely unacceptable. At least it will be once compared to the dish I'm about to make. All right. I want to see it. I want to see this amazing dish that can destroy Soma's. And I'm really happy about that. Like, they could end it as a tie or something, but I really do want Erina to win. Like, the most traditional way to end this series would be Soma wins, but, like, the most thematic way to do it here would definitely be Erina wins. Okay, just as this boy's doing, giving your very best for not one person, not just once, but consistently throughout the years. That might indeed be the path that someday leads to a dish the world has never seen. I mean, that is a cool way of putting it. Like, Soma's mom also did something very similar. Like, it was consistently trying to, like, wow the crowd. Soma's dad was consistently trying to wow Soma and, his mom. Like, I guess that is supposed to be it, the consistency of it. And, I mean, this feels a little like a confession. A tiny bit. It's not fully stated, but, they want to spend their lives together. There we go. That's the Eren I know. If it wasn't for you, I never would have made it this far. Also, like, it does actually, like, it works really well in order to make it feel like it's not rushed. Like, it's not, oh, it's the final chapter. Of course, Erina has to, be impressed. Like, I mean, first of all, we know she was impressed. Of course, that's the point of the gifting. The gifting shows that even a tsundere is super and duper impressed. But, like, it still allows series to hold on to that. Like, Erina doesn't fully change. She hasn't hit the absolute end of her arc yet. Like, that happens in the future. Like, in someday. Hey, Dad, I think I've made a dish that I can call completely my own. Wait, oh no! Damn it! Let's say we get this party started and have ourselves another match. Final chapter, and that's it. Oh, damn! I do like it enough. Like, I do think thematically this worked really well. But it does feel like a rushed final chapter. Like, it has not the final chapter of Bleach, but the chapter before the final chapter of Bleach. It has that feeling of, like, the pace was almost perfect, but they really had to crush it all together to make it work. Like, Bleach tried to do an epilogue with its actual final chapter, so the chapter before that was very much like, okay, here's, the big climax of the arc really squished in. So, I feel like this was very similar. Like, sure, you could say that we don't really need to see Erina's dish. We don't need to see Mana finally admit that, she's happy, but we do. We kind of do. Like, that was the big buildup. I don't care who wins. I was hoping that it would be Erina, and, like, thematically, Erina wins here. Because, she didn't back down from Soma, and she's continuing onwards. She's going to create something amazing. Like, it's not a bad ending, but it's not a great ending. It feels very half-boiled. I do genuinely feel like if we had one or two more chapters, I'd be completely satisfied. Like, I don't need the epilogue. I don't need to see, Soma go take over Yukihira. I don't really need to see them getting married or anything. All I really, truly wanted was the end of this Shokugeki. Like, a definitive end. I think there's a difference between, like, there are some things where it is more powerful to not show it, and there are things where, like, you can do that, but it would be more powerful to show it. And it might just be me hot in the moment, being overly critical, but I do feel like that's really the one sticking point. It was almost perfect. And I know a lot of people don't like this arc, or they don't like even, these final few chapters. But I was pretty into them. Like, I liked the arc generally, and I liked, this last, the semifinals and the finals quite a bit. So, it is genuinely quite disappointing. I do still think that overall, it was a good arc. It was fine. I'd like to have it animated, but, I mean, That's the thing. Like, Central is going to be interesting. I didn't see the last, arc that was animated, so I don't know if they finished Central or not. I assume they didn't. I feel like they didn't. But, like, if they're going to do this final arc, I think they could fix it a bit just by increasing the pace. Like, the Soma anime has been kind of rough. Like, not the first part. Like, the first season was really good. The most recent seasons were... But I think if they took just the entire Blue arc, the entire Noir arc, and they kind of crushed it down, like maybe left out a few things, slimmed it a bit, maybe reordered a few things, like that might be a bit too much, but I think they could make it a really, really good final season. Plus, they could, like, slip in an epilogue. Like, I'm really hoping that when the volume comes out, we do get a bit of an epilogue. We don't need one, but just, it would be nice. Yeah, so that's Food Wars. I did label it, end partially so that, if someone didn't know about it, but they really wanted to see the final chapter, they could. But partially also because I don't want to forget that this is the final chapter. And as a final chapter, I think it's below Actage, which is rough. Like, it was alright. I mean, any series that has gone on for this long has thematic power to it. It has weight. Like, no matter what happens in One Piece, like, even though I'm not a big fan of the current One Piece arc, like, there's still big moments that no other series can do because it has all this weight, because it has this long history, it has all these things that have been built up that we know about. And Food Wars is similar. I think part of the reason I'm kind of disappointed is because we didn't feel that weight that much, though. Like, we got this, but this felt like a very quick description that was very, like, it could have gone in anywhere, really. Like, it's not Soma's ultimate dish. I feel like if they had, hinted more at, the places he had pulled from for these, it would have been a bit better. That kind of was what the semifinals were, sort of, a bit more. But, like, it feels so weird for the final chapter. For it to be just, a generally good dish, where the only callback is really just, that it is a twist on what Nakiri made. Like, it's fine. It's just, it's not the best. Yeah, that's really it. It's fine, but it's not the best. And the ending of a series, it's not always going to be the best, but I feel like it should always be a contender for the best. Like, a good series finale should make you think, like, man, that's at the very least in my top 10 of my favorite episodes. It might not be number 1, it might not even be in the top 3, but it's gotta be in the top 10. And this was not in the top 10 Shokugeki no Soma moments. That said, I do really like the series. I'm really glad I read it. Thanks to anyone who's watching these reactions just for Food Wars. I'm excited to see what else Jump does. Like, it seems like there's going to be a slot open. Maybe they'll do another new series. I really hope they calm down a little with some of the cancellations, though, because, I mean, like, I know it depends on the series. If a series is good, it's going to keep on going. But now it's Soma gone. There are so few. Like, if you look at the series I personally read, like, I know we have a couple of others that I don't read, like, the Sumo one and Haikyuu, but even including those, there's only like a handful of long-running series in Jump, which was known for, at least I knew it, for being a magazine with a lot of long-running, super beloved series. So I'm hoping this is a bit of a weird point in Jump's history, where like we're getting the next new era of classics. All right, well, speaking of new classics, time for a series that is not going to be a new classic at the rate it's going. Next is Samurai 8, The Tale of Hachimaru, Chapter 6. Samurai of Fate. Okay. I mean, here we go. Very basic cover, whatever. Alright, we'll now discover you and your holders way of fighting a samurai. Okay, this will be exciting. I want to see the gimmick. Like, so far, Hachimaru does not have a gimmick. Like, he has, the number 8, and we know that, like, he was like confined to his home for quite a while. Maybe it'll be something video gamey, because most of his samurai knowledge is based on that video game. But we don't really have any hints, or like nothing I've seen that would indicate like this is what his armor is going to be like, or this is how he's going to fight. Okay, your training starts samurai knowledge. You must learn what the Trinity is. Okay. Also, that is pretty freaky. All right. Now, because you're samurai does not mean you're powerful on your own. Samurai, keyholder, and princess. When these 3 become one, the samurai's true power is unlocked at last. All right, so as always, you got the 2 things we already kind of know about, and the 1 thing we definitely don't know about. Jesus. Boy, I'm excited to see how the eventual inevitable anime does this. Like, I'm hoping it's not just, flipping the frames between he's whole, he's open, he's, like vice versa. I kind of hope it is more like fleshy almost. But okay. When I get angry in this body, I have a tendency to go berserk. Sure. All right, well then. By the way, I was talking to someone, they brought up that, a lot of Samurai 8 seems to be about identity so far, which I do agree with. Like, we have, Nanashi, who doesn't really know what they are. We've got Hachimaru, who, like, has this brand new body that he can use. It's completely different from his old one. He can see the world. He's just learning about himself. We've got Hayataro, who is a dog holder that meows. We've got Daruma, who is a super powerful dog person in a feline body. Like, it's cool. They haven't done a whole lot with it outside of Nanashi, but I'm excited to see like what they do with it. It's an interesting premise for a series. They're like, not premise, it's an interesting theme to be setting up this early on to potentially go through the entire series/franchise. Only when a samurai gets keyholders does battle ability truly flourish. A keyholder considers the samurai who wields its handlebone to be its master and partner. However, there's another invisible connection that is even more important, which I assume is the connection between the samurai and the princess, then. Nope, not even listening. It's not about getting strong or not. It's that only by having someone to protect does a samurai strive to be strong. That is a samurai's heroism. I can understand that. Like, that would also explain why it is that like, why it is that Hachimaru doesn't really have a goal right now. Like, why he's kind of just doing his thing. There's no real direction for the series apart from, collecting all the special keys. I guess that must be it. I mean, I wonder if Nanashi's going to be his princess then. Like, it might just be a one-off thing, but I feel like because that was such an early chapter in the series, like, Nanashi's got to be important, right? And that would make sense, too, to, like, have someone who is both a princess and a samurai, but not, like, a key samurai. Okay. So, because he's calling it serious training, therefore, this has got to be some Karate Kid washing a car situation. Like, it's got to be, right? Or not? Or not? You know all the sayings to follow your gut to slit your belly. A samurai's soul resides in his stomach, and that is a samurai's true weapon. Okay. What is this going to look like? Maybe it'll be super tiny. Nope, it's limp. Oh my. Oh no. But okay. That makes sense, though. Like, it is literally his soul, and he has no direction, as we've said. Like, he is a limp person, so of course his soul would be limp. Like, he has to have a true purpose, I assume, to make it hard. He needs a princess in order to make it hard. So I can be strong enough that my dad admits it. What a shitty joke. Yeah, it's so bad. Especially because, like, his dad clearly loves him. His dad isn't telling him that he can't be a samurai because he doesn't like him, or because he doesn't think he's strong. Like, I assume it's because, like, even if he's strong, he's still going to be in danger. Over generations, the samurai protected the galaxy, protected the planets, not to mention the planet's precious... ... I mean, it is very thematic, but there has to be some other reason then. Like, maybe it is just that they need someone to protect, but I imagine, like, if they're important enough to be on the thing, and for it to be, like, a princess specifically, like, not a thing to protect, not, like, a place to, a sacred place or something, specifically a princess, there's got to be something extremely important about it then. Oh, that lady from chapter 1. Like, the one who, gave the opening narration about how, you must go and say, get the 7 keys. She was probably his princess. That explains it, because, like, she was giving him orders. You start by asking who your strength exists for. So, I mean, we've got to do it in this chapter then, or at least hint at it, right? Okay, so we've got an old samurai and an old princess. New samurai has been born. One of the dregs from the bottom, just like you were. It made me chuckle. Oh, so there's going to be a screw-up princess that joins him. That... okay. Also, I was wondering what they meant by crystal, but I figured, like, well, we'll see it. Like, the story's going to explain it. So, okay, so the crystal is the locker ball. Jesus. It's so large. Like, it's so much bigger than this stone. Why? You basically just left your future boyfriend as a pickling stone. But this is good. Like, I guess we'll have this antagonistic relationship between the two of them, where clearly she's not going to be super impressed with Hachimaru. Hachimaru doesn't understand girls. I can see it happening already. Oh boy, really laying in on him. Also, I'm kind of curious. Like, is this going to be foreshadowing? Like, we've got the wimpy nerd with the glasses, sure. Old man with a potbelly might be Dharma. So, evil bad guy, we only have one other person, it'd be Hachimaru's dad. Let's put that in the crazy fan theory category. I've got a wide strike zone. I've got loose morals. I'll take any guy. Oh boy. Oh, a princess is the one person who can sense the presence of the locker balls buried deep within the planets. Okay, it's also known as a planet crystal, Great Samurai. So it's specific to that planet. Like, each planet has its own locker ball, their own princess, and then that princess can get their own samurai eventually. Okay, pretty alright. Not a whole lot happened, though. That's Samurai 8 for you. I'm gonna put that right at the bottom. I mean, again, I like the slow burn to it, but, I mean, the Last Saiyuki is also a slow burn, but it's good. That's really the main problem. Samurai 8 just isn't good. Or I personally don't think of it as being good. I've been kind of sugarcoating it, but I do want to, like, if the series is going to impress me, which I have gone into the series and not liked them at first, and then later on they've completely blown me out of the water, so I am hoping for that. Like, I do still see promise in Samurai 8. It's just, it feels like we haven't started it yet. Whereas, like, with The Last Saiyuki, it was extremely slow, but at the same time, it constantly did something. Even when the main premise could not work, they found ways to introduce the setting while also creating tense or interesting situations. I guess I don't even need that tenseness, I just need it to be interesting. Like, this all feels like exposition. The last couple of chapters have been just like, hey, here's some world building, I guess. And like, I don't like those in even the Promised Neverland. Like, the Promised Neverland has a lot of chapters that are like, here's some world building, all right. Here's the kids, doing a thing that is important. It's just the kids talking about stuff we know in order to come to conclusions, which is fine. But I never like those very much. And Samurai 8 is really front loaded with those as of right now. So let's move on to something I'm a little more iffy about, for better or for worse. Tokyo Shinobi Squad, Chapter 3, Taiga Shimizu. So we've got N here, got, boy, what is his name already, Jin? I assume Taiga is going to be a member of the squad. Like, last chapter, not super impressed by it, nothing really happens, but it feels like we're properly going to try and build out the squad, which I'm excited about. Alright, a few days have passed since I met Jin. Shibuya looks basically like Shibuya right now. The only difference is just the drones. Okay. Oh, maybe we'll see everyone, actually. Like, it might be we see everyone, but then only one person gets singled out as, like, this is the important person of the week. Like, they already saw Papillion, actually. So it could be like, here's the group. It's four or five people. One of them is Papillion. You already know her. One of them is Taiga. That's a really cool concept. Every squad has to register their office with the Shinobi Union. If we're too easy to find, they don't certify us. So, like, part of it is, like, signing up and, like, being known, like, all right, so here is where we work, but it's so difficult to get here that, most people wouldn't be able to find us. That also means that, like, if they have to fight any other shinobi in the series, like, there's automatically the setup of, yeah, like, they're going to have a, tricky to get to base. Like, that's how they all are. And separately, like, if anyone attacks their base, the Narumikai's hideouts, they're going to be like, oh, wow, whoever found us must be really talented. Okay, so, oh boy, whoops. So this is Taiga. He's got this tiger print chair, lots and lots of papers. I can't tell if he's just throwing them or if they're sticking to the ground. I think they're just being thrown. It looks like he's just filling out paperwork. I really like that, though. Like, I love the pairing of someone who is brash and just goes out there and does what they want, and someone who does all the paperwork. Like, it's a really fun dynamic. I really, really, like, I hope Taiga does stuff out of the office, but I'd be completely fine if all he ever does is stay here and, work on stuff. Like, that would be cool in its own right. It'd be comfy. It'd be like a regular part of each arc to come in and see how he's doing, to get the deets from him. Okay, well, that was relatively easy. He's got an attitude even though I'm older than him, but give him some candy, he turns into a kitten. Oh, whoops. Alright, so, really not pulling any punches, just, well, you better leave. Screw you. And memorize these right now. Okay, so he's already pretty trained. Like, we knew he had the scroll, but I didn't know if he went through any training or anything at this point. Okay. The office is on the 27th floor. Pasco. Oh, this is great. Like, he is Promised Neverland's levels of, like, super smarts. One of my favorite moments in the Promised Neverland is this moment where one of the characters just is given a sheet of paper and is told, like, hey, memorize all of these. It's such a, like, it's such a powerful flex. It's so, like, intrinsically impressive, no matter, like, what situation it is. Unless it's, like, one sheet of paper, I guess. Oh, that's right. I mean, he said he had the technique of remembrance. I don't remember, like, I wasn't sure if he actually learned it or not in the first chapter, but okay, so he did learn it. Like, he does, like, that's why. He has this ability to store infinite amounts of information. With mastery of that technique, even mind reading and brainwashing are possible. That is really cool. Like from one technique, from one scroll, really. Like, because of that, he can branch out. Like, he has a very OP ability. It's just, because he's barely learning about it, he can only, quote-unquote, to do this. That's great. Like, I really like the idea of having a series where the shinobi are all based around, like, one special ability, but they can branch it out. Like, I like power systems in general to do that. The One Piece style things. As opposed to Naruto, like, you can have a bunch of different abilities that are all, like, vaguely themed around the same thing, but they can be super, out there. Because, like, that is fun in its own right. And I really liked how Naruto did it. But I think I have more of a problem with, like, copycat series that try to do that, but the abilities aren't very interesting. So far, like, within 3 chapters, we've already seen Shinobi Squad do enough with Jin's powers to make me feel like they could make this work. Okay, and, like, they are friends. Like, they have worked together for a while, so he's willing to trust Jin. That is pretty great. I wonder what they'll do with the scroll, though, because, like, I assume once you use the scroll once, it's not like it disappears. Like, you can reuse it. So, would he get anyone else in the organization to use the scroll to get the technique of remembrance, or is it a situation where just you don't do that? That'd be kind of cool. Because, like, I imagine, like, part of having a cell of Shinobi is making sure, like, they're all very distinct. They all have one ability, but they master that ability. As opposed to having a bunch of grunts that all kind of know one ability. Or, like, even just specializing with a squad that all has the same power. Okay, data retrieval. Sure. But their underwriters made off with the team's data. Okay, so that's how we're dealing with it. Like, because it was data retrieval, I assumed it was going to be something along the lines of, like, stealing something, but I guess it is more just, recovery. Alright, but Jin, it's kind of like them who think betrayal is as easy as cake that compel me to hunt. Alright, and I do like that, I mean, we kind of brushed past it, but he is coming out with us, like, he isn't just going to be in the office the entire time. I really like that. I hope we do, like, 3-man groups with every member of the Narimikai. Like, even that, we kind of did Papillion, but not really. Like, we didn't see her fight properly, so that'd be cool, too. Like, because she was introduced already, we can save her until the very end. Or I guess the very end might actually be N. Like, N works with them, he gets better and better, and then by the final, like, team joining arc is just, like, Jin and N fighting together, and N has finally learned some ability that allows him to properly hold his own. Maybe. How is this going down? Like, either it's the betrayers, or maybe it's some other member of the Narimikai just taking out this guy in the, in the shadows. Or no, never mind. I kind of thought that he was going somewhere else, but no, I guess he is just following them. What's up, old man? You're dripping with bloodlust, you know that? Okay, let's see how this goes. Raging Tiger? Okay. May only be learned by those who are compatible with hybrid techniques. I mean, they did call him a kitten before, which I liked, but oh boy, so he's an actual feline fighter, somehow. Also, what do they mean by hybrid techniques? Like, is it literally turning yourself into a hybrid? Like, is it just like, there are certain Shinobi that can do that? Or is this a hybrid technique in some other capacity? Okay, so he got a shot off. Oh, nope. I guess that didn't go down quite as planned. Holy shit! Holy crap, that is a cut! Boy, oh boy. Like, smashing one row would have been crazy enough, but Jesus! Also, I hope this is a running gag, because we've already done it at least once in the last chapter. Like, I guess just N falling out of buildings? Alright. Well then, I mean, also, very not stealthy. Like, I thought that the series was going to be a little more on, when it came, like, a little more espionage-y. And I mean, this is espionage in a way, but that specifically was not. I guess the fact that Jin's complaining about it shows that this isn't the way they usually do things. Overall, pretty good. Like, very average chapter, I'd say. Wasn't amazing. I do really, really like Taiga, though. Also, Taiga, I get the pun. But I mean, and it explains also the back of his chair. Oh my gosh, that is good. I have a fondness for cat people, so I mean, that's definitely going to change my my like enjoyment of the series a little bit, but not that much. Like, I think it was better than Food Wars. I don't think it was better than Actage. So let's put that right there. Next is actually, do I have theories? Not really. Like, we're still very much in the like setting stuff up arcs, and all we know about this is just like their underwriters stole the data. That's all they really have. Like, maybe it's that the researchers are secretly working with them or something, maybe, but we don't have that much information. I can't really make any theories, so that's it. Next is The Last Saiyuki, Chapter 15. So it seems like it worked. Whether they have a new connection or not is going to be interesting, but at the very least, the energy transfer worked. Okay, sorry, Mrs. Stell, I don't have time to explain. Yeah, bit busy, just a tiny bit busy. Oh, I really love the aesthetic of the Nyoibo now. Like, I really, really hope that they don't do too much. Actually, I hope that specifically Ryunosuke doesn't do a lot with like the bendy Nyoibo. Or like, the punchy Nyoibo. Like, I just because like the Nyoibo is so flexible as a tool. I really hope that he sticks more with the rigid stuff, and then occasionally when he has to go all out, he uses a bit of everything. But I hope he doesn't like specialize with especially the punchy Noibo. Actually, the punchy Noibo was really what pushed me over the top of like, I don't know, this might be going a bit too far. Its tentacles are fast. It's hard to predict their course. I can only concentrate on defense. If it touches me, that's the end. That is also cool in its own right. That like the Noibo is inherently a mid-range weapon. Like, you can use it at close range, you can also use it at long range, but it is meant to be a mid-range weapon, which is something you don't see a lot in shonen. Like, it tends to be close range, and then things that are mid-range, but they pretend like they're close range, like sword blasts and stuff. So it's cool to have a weapon that is like very suited for this situation of I'm not going to touch the monster at all physically. Oh shit. Okay. Did peace from that time survive off of Estelle's life force? Oh boy, okay, he's infected. I guess Estelle has to save him now. What I need to think about right now is not how this happened, but what I'm going to do about it. So he made a blade. He stabbed himself with it. Why? I guess if it grew that large inside of him, then he stabbed it through himself. To be fair, there is where I think like the Bending Yorbo might have been useful. I mean, I guess he didn't have time though. Like, in the moment, you can't plan out precisely the most perfect way to use your Yorbo. But I already know. Okay, so it's already healing too. I mean, this might be a bit worrying because he saw his dad put on the arm. He didn't realize that the arm, wasn't ready for fighting right after that. Like, I wonder how this will go down then. Like, the fact that it is starting to heal is pretty impressive. Like, even though he has had barely any training whatsoever, like he's working basically just off of the information he got like through his bond with Koharu. Like, I wonder if someone's going to just tell him, like, hey, that was super impressive. Like, you shouldn't be able to do that until you're, like, 5 years in training. God, really cool move, though. Like, I'm all for, like, moves that are, like, I'm going to hurt myself in order to hurt my opponents. And I think this was honestly really cool because it wasn't the super flashy, like, I'm going to stab all the way through myself, or I'm going to shoot myself in the heart. Like, it was a more realistic, I'm going to hurt myself in order to hurt the enemy thing. Realistic is the wrong word to use. I guess more just like tamed, more toned down. It felt more doable because it was so like not ridiculously over the top. What can you do if you go? It's true, I can't hold Nyoibo. I'm not strong as you, but my limbs are fake, so the Kuroi can't suck on my life force. Like, Estelle didn't fully get Koharu, but I guess this is going to be the moment where she finally realizes, like, oh, hey, Koharu is pretty amazing. Like, she's not here just because, she's being forced to. She wants to. And she's braver than I am because like her mo is not opening up in the slightest, yet, she's in so much danger. She's doing this all for someone else. Like she's a protector and I'm not. I feel like that's going to be her conclusion. There goes Ling Ling. It wasn't because my mother said so. It wasn't because I had to be like her. It was because I always wanted to be like her. Or just to be her. I also appreciate that this is like, Ling Ling does give me like, I mean, I know she is the generic magical girl, but of all the magical girls I've seen, like, she feels like she's got that Cardcaptor Sakura spirit to her. Like, with the fact that she is younger than average, like, she's not even as old as, like, Usagi from Sailor Moon. Though she has, the hair buttons. Like, she's a klutz. She's brave. I really like that they are, like, she's drawing the comparisons directly to Koharu. Even though she wasn't strong and hated fighting, she could give others courage. She could be brave if it was for someone else's sake. That was the kind of girl I wanted to become. You're being dabbed on by someone with no limbs. Estelle, what are you going to do? Are you going to let this happen? Nowadays, I can run fast. The arms I built up can fight now. There's no reason for me to be afraid. Her mo is completely empty now. So there's no reason I can't be like Ling Ling. Alright, let's see. How is she going to do this? Also, I am wondering, like, is this revelation purely of her own accord, or is it because of the her connection with Koharu? Like, it could be purely thematic, but I think it might have been partially like, Koharu gave her some energy and also like awakened a little in her. Like, not as much of an awakening as Ryunosuke, but just enough to be like, hey, like, I'm going to make you a little more empathetic. I'm going to make you like me a bit more. Like, I could see that happening. I could see a big twist later on where it's like, oh, by the way, don't you know, Koharu or Kei, like, she uses her power to make you like her. Like, that's how she gets servants or something. And then everyone has to be like, oh no, have we been manipulated this whole time? Like, that's a bit of a crackpot theory, but I could see it happening. There is something there, like, because it's a connection, and because it's the same, like, it wasn't like a different sort of energy transference. It was specifically that mind energy. Like, I could see something there. And I do like that. Like, it isn't that, like, it's not that she's saying she wants to protect others. It's specifically, she's doing it for herself. She wants to be the kind of person who can protect others. Like, she's doing it for her. Okay, and that also, like, the fact that he had, that he did stab himself is like, oh, it's so thematically good because it means that Ling Ling, Estelle has to be the one who wins here. Like, she has to be the one who comes in clutch. All Ryunosuke can do now is, be on the defensive. At this rate, we can't win, so we have to level up. Okay, and she's snapping her Nyobo in half with her own hands, like, not even using a cutter, the way Gohaku did. Until now, I could only rely on this outfit, but I'm no longer the weakling I used to be. Alright, so it looks like she made she made a second identical one. I'm curious to see what exactly this means, though. I mean, if I had to guess, I think it's going to be that she's going to, like, imbue this with her own style. Like, before, she was kind of imitating Ling Ling, but now she's going to be more physical. Like, she's going to I do want her to keep on imitating Ling Ling, though. Like, that's such a cool theme to me. The idea of emulating a fictional character that isn't, like, a real-world fictional character. But I do think this is a good step forward. Ah, man, the Last Saiyuki is just so consistently good. I mean, part of it is just I like the magical girl aesthetic, so I am very, very attached to Estelle. But like I could see how this could be a bit grating to someone else, though. Like, we've had quite a few chapters focusing on this arc, and it isn't like a high octane arc or anything. But I don't know, something about it has just consistently kept me engaged. So I am going to put it. I still don't know if I'd put it above Actage. Like, Actage this week was a standout chapter, whereas this didn't feel standouts. It was a big turning point for Estelle, and it was pretty cool, but I don't think it was standouts. So I'll put it here. All right, that's the pre-recorded segments. I'll be right back with the live stream. I'm going to, it's going to be on either on Monday or Tuesday, so hopefully on Monday, maybe on Tuesday. If it is Wednesday, I can do One Punch Man, but I don't know. We'll see. I might also just do a separate stream for One Punch Man, maybe? I don't know. We'll see. We will see. But catch me on the flip side for the live stream. Hello, everyone. This is Thermite, and this is the live stream segment of Weekly Shonen Jump for this week. Today, let's start off with We Never Learn, Chapter 115. Oh boy, I'm still getting used to my new setup, but my new setup changes like every single week, so whatever. Anyways, last time we started off on a kind of dark note. Urizu hates herself. That's really all we got, just she hates herself. So why? For what purpose? I mean, based on this panel, I assume it has something to do with her grandmother. And it seems like her grandmother was the one who inspired her love of games. You've got a ways to go before you can beat your gran. Okay, that explains it. So the reason she's been so, like, into games, I mean, we kind of knew that from the starts, that she wanted to use games as a form of communication because she's very bad at communicating. Okay. Also, this arc title is the wildest thing. The Clockwork Fireflies Yearn for the Snow Flurries of X, Part 2. Like, generally, We Never Learn tends to be pretty... Oh, I forgot to actually say We Never Learn, didn't I? We Never Learn. Finally did it for myself without someone having to tell me beforehand. But yeah. Oh, it's so nostalgic. It's so nostalgic to finally be here once again. I mean, to be fair, this is not what I'm nostalgic for. I'm nostalgic for what happens basically here, but like a year afterwards. Like, the first year of them failing and going through tutor after tutor, like, we knew about that, but we didn't really get to see it in any great detail. Also, wait a minute, was she actually their tutor to start? I guess so. I mean, she's the guidance counselor, but I guess she must have been the first tutor before they started trying to find other people to put the burden on. Hmm? Uh, wait a minute. What is happening I mean, I'm aware that what she is doing is pulling down both of their skirts at the same time. I just don't understand how this could have happened. How? I see the I see the movements. I understand it, but boy, oh boy, do I not understand the physics. I mean, it's harem logic. Harem logic is a science of its own. I'll say, hey, Lemem, you're finally here. I mean, what exactly can we do here, though? Like, this is a flashback, and though we're exploring something in the present, like, it's the problem with a lot of flashback arcs, in that, I mean, flashback arcs that specifically focus on characters that we have seen for a long, long time. If it's something where we see brand new characters, then of course the obvious thing is these characters can't be here doing this at this, in the modern time. We have to go backwards in order to see what they did then and how that affects now. But this seems like we're focusing on, Sensei and then Furuhashi and Ogata. So what can we see here that explains why she hates herself? I mean, apart from what we've already seen. I mean, I guess she is way more robotic now. Or she was more robotic then. Wait, is she playing Uno? Yes, she is. I just automatically assumed they were like Hanafuda cards or something, but boy, oh boy. I've never seen someone play Uno quite like this. And now we're calling back to the nostalgia that was brought up last chapter, in which they were all wearing, Santa outfits once again. That's actually really interesting how their first and second years do parallel each other, but we didn't get to see their first years. We're only learning about them now, but like they do. There is a distinct pattern being shown. Is that how that works? I mean, I get the connection of you smell like broth sometimes, so maybe you work at an udon shop. But this shop specifically, I had hunch you might be connected to this shop. Like, how much does she smell? Also, like, seeing them in the past but using the current art style really is weird. Like, I just noticed it because of how, like, round Furuhashi's head is. It's so unnatural. I remember back in the day where everyone was more human proportions. Not that this is wrong. I like this art style a lot more. It's just, it's weird. Wait, is Furuhashi using common sense? How can you tell instantly? How can you instantly tell how everyone's feeling? How is this possible? It's almost as if you're capable of picking up on small social cues. Also, wait, why? For what purpose, though? I mean, I guess they are undressing afterwards. I mean, I said it last time, but I'll say it again. The idea of doing this, of sitting down and copying an entire board game by hand, is pretty nuts. I want to try it sometime. I don't know how I'll get how I'll possibly rope someone else into it, but I want to do it. Also, did she really just? That feels a little weird because at the start of We Never Learn, I feel like Furuhashi was a lot more introverted. Like, not ridiculously introverted. Like they were an introvert-outrovert couple pairing, whatever. But I thought that her thing with stars was something that Naruyuki really had to tease out of her. It feels weird to have her just kind of like offer it up immediately. This does make a lot of sense as to like how the two of them became friends. Like naturally, Agata would not have made the first move. Now I see. She's the me I want to be, but she's the person I cannot become. That's a powerful statement. Like, both in terms of real world, like, not being able to compare to another person like yourself, to, comparing yourself to a friend, but also in the context of a harem series. This feels like her resignation. Not that it necessarily has to be, but it is her outright saying, oh wow, when I look at Furuhashi, she has an aura around her. She's better than I am. She's a step ahead. Like, I think we can still, like, bring this into Agata's development. Like, she could have finally decided, like, okay, at this point, in the present, I finally, like, I haven't matured as far as I want to, but I still have more to go, and soon I'll become someone that Naruyuki might love. Maybe. But I feel like, because she hates herself right now, like, it's rough. I know how it feels to hate yourself. I don't think that's something she can, like, dash through. So it does feel like a resignation. It feels like she's saying, essentially, like, how in the world am I going to stack up to Furuhashi? Like, I need to work on myself. I need to not be a robot for a while. Okay. I mean, I do appreciate that it's not quite as tragic as I expected from the previous chapter. Like, she does understand people. She does understand that as well. Like, we don't have to talk her down off the ledge or anything. Also, what is this outfit? I mean, it looks okay. Just like, whoa. Of course, like, this is the main reason why Fumino like can't really connect with Naruyuki that well. Like, she's trying to play wingman, which is a cool dynamic, but again, that disturbs me because I feel like what we're setting up is another round of arcs where all the other girls like show off their flaws, and then we finally hit Furahashi's flaw, which is that, oh, I should just be direct. I like him, and if he doesn't, like, if he's not going to make a move on anyone else, I should make the first move. Which I don't want to happen. I want her to leave the series alone. But also, we have Sekijo for Ogata. And honestly, that is a good pairing. Like, Sekijo, at the very least, gives two shits about her. Whereas, like, I wouldn't say Naruyuki doesn't care about Ogata. It's more just, like, it's not a good relationship. It's a situation where clearly, like, they're not fulfilling each other's needs. Whereas Sekijo would absolutely fulfill Ogata's needs. No. This isn't the level of understanding I wanted. Ogata, what are you doing? Oh no. Yeah, I think this is it. I think she's resigning herself. Oh, okay. So I walked right into that one. It was the classic, I logically understand that there's no way I can come between them, but my body's moving on its own. I thought if I learned to understand others better, it would help me to like myself better, but all I see are more ugly qualities myself. Oof. Oh boy. Yeah. Oh boy. So we really did not resolve that in a wholesome way. Like, this arc is definitely going to be, like, at least as long as Furuhashi's previous arc. Like, this is going to be like a 5-pointer or so. God. It's not even that we didn't go anywhere. We definitely went somewhere. It's just where we went was significantly worse. Like, this wasn't a wellspring of excitement of, oh, wait a minute, I still have a chance. I can still do this. It's more that she's incapable of seeing what people could possibly like about her, which is real rough. And I know because of the format of We Never Learn, like, everyone's going to be supportive of her, but I really don't think she has a chance of being, main girl now, which is fine because I'm not rooting for her, but still, that's rough. I don't know how we could wrap up this arc. I mean, how could we end her arc in a situation that makes sense? All I can really think of is just hooking her up with Sekijo, because Sekijo is, like, how do I put this? Ogata is someone who has this pit of darkness within herself. Like, she hates herself. She has this inherent dislike for herself. And that really does not pair well with someone who is an introvert, because it expends you have to expend a lot of energy in order to communicate with other people, which is rough because communicating with other people is really the only way that you can feel better. The best the best pairing for someone like that is someone who has, like, basically an endless amount of energy, who can constantly be pouring energy into that, that dark pits. And I feel like Sekijo is really the best fit for that situation. Like, she is obsessive, but at the same time, like, they are legitimately a very good pairing. Whereas I don't think Naruyuki has that power to him. He has diligence, but I can't see him spending day after day telling Ogata that he likes her. Like, he's too dumb. He doesn't have that emotional intelligence that I think she really requires in order to balance out her own, like, lack of perspective. So yeah, that's We Never Learn. Oh boy. I mean, I kind of hope that it is, like, all the girls, like, reaching out to her, as opposed to just Naruyuki. Just Naruyuki would be the normal choice, but it's not the choice I really want, given this situation. Like, the other option, if it's not one person pouring in a ridiculous amount of energy, it would be a lot of people all giving her a little bit of their energy, so that she manages to stay afloat. Okay, so overall, I mean, not a hype chapter, more of the exact opposite of hype. I'm not exactly hyped for this, but it was really well done. I would say that in terms of how much I enjoyed it, like I did talk quite a bit about it. So I feel like it's probably I'd say it's below Act Dodge, but above Last Saiyuki. Like I thought this week's Act Dodge chapter was really, really fantastic, just top notch. And the Last Saiyuki was like good, but not like amazing. So this fits somewhere in between there. Okay, I just heard my rice cooker pop, so I'll be right back with Chainsaw Man, Chapter 26, The Gun is Mightier. So, I mean, where are we right now? Everyone's dead. Dead or dying. Aki's fine, I guess. Actually, I wouldn't call him fine. Never mind. I don't think I'd call him fine. But okay, her name is Sawatari. What is happening? I mean, his blood is spreading. Oh, the use of sound effects here is really cool. Like, the moving buzz. I mean, it looks like Denji's holding his own, which is nice. Like, there's really no place where he could get back up. Like, I could see Aki pulling out a new contract that we haven't seen yet. It's like, 2 of his contracts are pretty fucked, but one of them is still fine. I mean, one of them might be fine if it's one we haven't seen. That said, it might just be Denji showing off how powerful he is, like proving that he is indeed worthy of this high scale kidnapping. Yeah, it fits so well. And like even the smash sound effect is slightly different from both of them. It is, oh man. Fujimoto's work is really, really great. Oh, okay. Wait a minute. Boy, that perspective. But no, okay, I get it. I mean, it's hard to shoot someone who's that fast. But I mean, realistically, like, Denji does have regeneration, but he can only regenerate as long as he's drinking blood. So, like, theoretically, a gunshot to the heart should kill him. A gunshot to the head probably could also kill him. Does Chainsaw Man get the guy with a non-guy head tag? Yes. Pretty obviously so. I mean, he does change from a guy with a normal head to a guy with a non-guy head, but I would say, like, Chainsaw Man is in the same vein as Dorohedoro or No Gun's Life in the genre of guys who have things for their heads that are not guy heads. I don't, like, depending on the moment, I don't tend to get a great sense of the in-betweens when it comes to Fujimoto's work, but I do like the actual, like, impact moments, if that makes any sense. Like, I think this feels very, like, dynamic. It feels very powerful. I can feel that hit. And then I can feel this hit as well. But sometimes I have trouble, like, following the movement of the characters. Like, this isn't too bad, because, like, it's a pretty clear, Denji twists himself. But sometimes it gets a little messy. I've noticed that even in Fire Punch, though, so it's not like a Chainsaw Man specific thing. I mean, bullets are strong. To be fair, I've never shot a gun. I don't know quite how powerful bullets are, but I feel like you could shoot a bullet through that. It's tough, but it's not like bulletproof tough. I could be talking entirely out of my butt, though. Wait, what? When did he get cuts? I guess it must have been, like, here, actually. Because he just noticed it here. Did we see the cut there? I don't think we did. Like, there's something here that looks kind of like a seam that might be opening. But I don't think it kind of lines up with this, sort of, vaguely. Okay, I mean, is that going to work? Is it? I didn't really think of these guys as being, like, legitimate friends. I was thinking of them more as, like, a bunch of freelancers all hired by the Gun Devil. Or however they're connected. Oh boy, that is some... I mean, I was gonna say that's some Sanji level stuff, but like, the pose is very Sanji, sort of. Except for the positioning of the third blade. But the sudden, teleports behind you is much more Brook than Sanji. Boy, is he gonna be cut in half? I feel like it's gonna be a shot of both of them, having been cut in half. Yep, oh boy, that's it. That's the money shot. Oh god, did he slice up Denji's arm too? I don't think so, actually, never mind. That's the chainsaw. But god damn. That was a good bluff, though. Like, Denji didn't know the relationship, so he didn't realize that was a viable option. Yes, I do mean Zoro. Fuck, I was saying Sanji, wasn't I? I'm an idiot. You know, Sanji's three-sword style. There is an inherent messiness to Fujimoto's art style, and while sometimes I can see why some people are turned off by it, I do think, like, it is extremely cool. Like, there's this spray, and then also, if you look down here, in this tiny little corner, there's some spray there. Like, presumably from this part of the body. Like, it's not exactly going off panel there, but, like, it fills up the entire page here. There's a sense of, I don't know. There's something about it that's really, really interesting. It's captivating. Like, I think that sketchy art styles don't really get the attention they deserve, like, unless they are super, like, detailed sketchy art styles. But I don't think, like, sketchiness is not the same as, like, being bad or being unfinished. It is just a different aesthetic. You know, it's the one from One Punch Man thing. Or I guess one from, like, Mob Psycho 100, where he's actually really, really trying. Oh, boy. I mean, he does have a handle. I guess that is a thing you can do. Wait a minute. If you were to cut off Denji's head, could you carry him around and use him to attack his his allies? Like, can he control the chainsaw if you're the one, like, hitting the button on the back? Huh. I just read chapter 1 of No Gun's life. I've never thought about this until right now. But you could do that, potentially. I guess we've never seen it, but I mean, if we're gonna see it, now's the time. Huh? Okay, so he dissolved into gunk? Is he a twice clone? Even devil hunters are only human. They can't win against guns. I mean, yeah, for real. Everyone's pretty dead. Oh, wait a minute. Where's, oh, what is her name? Not Yanagi. Yonebi? You know, mysterious girl. Girl that wanted to kill Denji. Where is she? Like, we didn't get a panel of her being shot, as far as I remember. Like, we got this panel of Arai before, and I think she was with Arai, but we never got to see her getting shot, right? Yeah, it is. I mean, it is what Denji did with Pochita, but first of all, Pochita was, like, consenting. And secondarily, that was Pochita's entire body. Like, it would feel different if it was just his head and also being used against his will. Come on, Makima! Please? Please? That was a good transition by... Oh, boy. Okay, sorry, I did not read this page entirely, but I saw that. Okay, so she's still alive. I have been pulling for her this entire time. Like she's been so hyped up in a way that isn't your general, just being strong. There's a big mystery to her. I really felt like she couldn't die, but the question is, how is she still alive? I mean, as he said, even devil hunters are only human. They can't win against guns. Like, as far as we know, she is not a fiend. So it has to be a contract, I'd assume. But with what? Because we saw an exit wound. We saw at least one exit wound with the, like when she was shot from the front and from behind at the same time. So she was shot. But, how is she still alive? I was talking to Zaku a little while ago, and I don't remember how it came up. I think we mentioned the zombie devil, but then I looked and it was like, oh yeah, zombie devil was in the first chapter, so... Highly, highly doubt that she's contracted to the zombie devil, unless we're going to bring up the idea of devils being, like, resurrected, maybe? But even then, you'd think that she would have been a bit pissed off at Denji killing the zombie devil, then. This scar especially looks a lot like the scar that Jin from Tokyo Shinobi Squad has. But I guess they have matching scars, which is an interesting look. Yeah, Failure Devil still up. Any of the, like, high-level conceptual devils, my theory, I believe, was that... I don't know which one specifically, but I do think Miss Makima probably has, like, a high-level conceptual devil, like, on the level of Eternity. Just because, like, it would explain why she doesn't get into a lot of fights herself, like, why she's in upper management, but it would also make her, like, super powerful. It could also be something that ties into her sense of smell, maybe, but I don't quite know. I mean, it could legitimately be immortality. Like, we don't know what the rules of devils are, like, how close you can get. Like, we know that's, like, this boy / this boy. Like, we know that he's some sort of blade, but we don't know exactly what he is. But it's very possible that, like, if he's the blade devil, there could be, like, a sword devil. Like, we don't know how much overlap is needed. Maybe it's the No You Devil. Uh, I I think I may have brought up also that maybe it's the Gun Devil, which would be an insane twist. Like, it would definitely have her be, like, she would definitely be jerking around Denji at this point, because clearly she doesn't want the Gun Devil to die. But even then, maybe she does. It's completely possible, because, like, they tried to kill her with guns, and guns didn't work. Maybe she does have a connection to the Gun. The only question would be then, why would these people who are working with the Gun Devil try to shoot her in the first place? Like, it wouldn't just be for appearances, because then she would have played along. So it can't be the Gun Devil, never mind. Okay. Boom, walking off like nothing happens. Kurosei, Tendo, we came under gunfire. It was serious enough that she doesn't want to eat, which is surprising. That's been her one consistent character trait. Although, to be fair, she didn't say she didn't want to eat. She just said the luncheon is cancelled. So, it's not mine. I wasn't hit, which is a straight up lie. Like, correct me if I'm wrong, chat. Like, do tell me if I'm wrong, but there was an exit wound. We definitely saw blood come out of her and when she was shot. Like, she was hit for sure. And they've been like, see, until right now, I was going to bring up the Gun Devil theory again, but like, these are too big to be gun holes, or to be bullet holes. Like, even if it was like high caliber, even if they were high caliber rounds, they would have just blown the people apart. They wouldn't have created these holes. They were like donutted. They're like, King Crimson's. It would be pretty great if it's like, if she's contracted to the Shotgun Devil, the Gun Devil's uncool younger brother. Also, who said the No You Devil? Damage. No You Devil actually fits a lot here. Like, I've thought about that a lot as a great conceptual ability. The idea of, if you try to attack me, or if you try to kill me, you instantly die. Like, there's no getting around it. It's such a powerful combat ability. Could be the Donut Devil. The Onahole Devil. Oh boy. If I had to make an immediate prediction right now, like, I still think it's going to be something big and conceptual. So, I would say, like, the No You Devil, the Reversal Devil. It could be reversal, like, just, instead of me dying, you die. Number 2, I was saying it as a joke, but the Shotgun Devil actually does sound like a fun idea, like, because also, that would also bring up the idea of specialized devils, like, if the Knife Devil, Sword Devil, whatever this guy was, like, if he's around, and there are weaker Blade Devils, they could just be like, like, how many people are scared of razor blades? Razor blades are kind of scary. They are worrisome. They have dark imagery associated with them, but they're not as scary as being, like, shanked out in the woods. And even that isn't quite as scary as being, attacked with a large blade. Like, I could see that happening. Like, what better way to, to fight devils than to have other devils that just hate, their big bros or their little bros or whatever. The Tryptophobia Devil. Very possible. But yeah, I do agree. It doesn't necessarily have to be a lie. I was saying that immediately just because that's what came to mind, but the more I think about it, she doesn't seem like the kind of person who would lie. Like, maybe I'm wrong, but if she's willing to say that, then maybe it is that, I wasn't hit is literally what happens. Like, she literally, to her, she was not hit. Oh, I'm on top chats? Whoops. That is bizarre, because my phone switched to live chat at the same time, or it switched to top chats immediately. So did this, I assume. Is there like a timer or something associated with this? That's weird. That's buck wild. But okay, thanks for telling me. If it happens again, do let me know. I'll switch it over. Yeah, that is true. She healed. Also, I remember specifically her, her face being bloody, but it's not. That could have been, just her, like, taking a towel and wiping herself up or so, but how did she get the blood out of her hair? It's really difficult to get things out of your hair. Yeah, whoops. Here, we definitely saw blood in her hair, so whatever it was, it didn't restore the rest of her outfits, but it did fix her head. I mean, it could be as simple as she dunked her head in the toilet to wash off her hair, but then her hair's not wet. She could be a devil. Like, we did note that she feels very different from everyone else. She was able to tell that something weird was going on with Denji. The different thing really is just that, like, I don't think she's a devil or a fiend because of power. Because power couldn't tell what's going on with Denji. Whereas Miss Makima could tell. Now, it could just be that she's a very specialized devil, or she's lived for a long time, she has special experience. But it makes me think that more likely she's a human. Like, just, she's a human with something weird about her, or an interesting contract, or something to that regard. I mean, the fact that she's so hungry would also imply that, hey, maybe she's a devil or a fiend or something that eats other devils. Maybe that's why she wants Denji to become powerful. Maybe that's why she's looking for the gun devil. All possible, but also, like, if it was about eating, then we would have seen, like, bite marks here, as opposed to just giant holes. Total power over all forms of penetration. Oh boy, the most dangerous devil for modern Japan, the penetration devil. All right, well, this was a fantastic chapter. I'm going to I don't think it's as good as Black Clover, but I think it easily beats Act Dodge. Like, the Black Clover chapter this week was special. Whereas, like, this, Chainsaw Man is so good at just going in, being good, and coming out. I mean, that sounds a bit silly considering how long I've gone on about this chapter, but still, like, it is always a fast read, and I think that really helps. Like, it gives off this, like, this light feeling. I never feel bored when it comes to reading Chainsaw Man. Whereas, like, within, Weekly Shonen Jump, within, like, pages that are, page counts that are around, like, 18 to 22 pages, I can get bored. But I'm never bored with Chainsaw Man. It's always so well-paced. So, I think that's it for Chainsaw Man. So good. Let's move right along to The Promised Neverland. Chapter 138, Demon Search, Part 1. Honestly, yeah, it is wild. I think part of it is just that when a series starts out, I'm always a bit shaky with it. Like, that's why I'm still hoping that eventually, what's ranking really low here? Samurai 8 and Tokyo Shinobi Squad, like, they're ranking low, but it's not like I'm dropping them. I do have hopes for them. Like, man, I can't believe it. But Chainsaw Man's really hit its stride, and it's become a series that I look forward to every single week. Oh boy, someone's at the door. Whew. All right. Don't worry, Lemem, I'm back. Also, I'm glad that I can call you Lemem on stream, and at least you understand what I'm going for now, finally. God, what a gorgeous cover page. Like, The Promised Neverland is supposedly ending, like, not soon, but it's in the final arc, and I'm gonna be sad to see it go. Like, God, so gorgeous. And I really do think that reading it digitally is way better than, oh my gosh, she's so cute. Like, in the semi-chibi style. I'm not a big fan of, like, ultra chibi-chibis right now, because, I don't know, I feel like they're overplayed. But this style, like, just when Posca just kind of, like, squishes characters a bit, I think it's amazing. No, I refuse, Zaku. I mean, I could say, la mem, but I don't want to. Like, the point of it is that I wasn't doing it as a joke to start. I thought that was just what he was doing. I thought that was just the pronunciation. Anyways, nothing really to look at. I mean, they're going on the journey. That's really about it. I guess the birds are interesting because they don't seem to be, I don't know. Like, they are very silhouetted, so I guess we can't tell what species they are. Are we creating some sort of anti-demon serum? The boss is indeed a genius. No, genius is too insignificant a word to describe him. He's so much more. There's no one else who is as distinguished, virtuous, or perfect. Oh, boy. I mean, the whole God complex thing has been a bit of a joke, but I love that, like, it's not even that they're leaning into it, it's just that is the way it is. They do deify Norman. I think so. Like, we have seen, like, actual wolves in the series, so I do think they probably keep actual normal animals around. Actually, you know what? I'm going to say that they do keep domesticated animals that are not demons. Because in the same way, like, they keep humans around. I mean, that sounds very obvious now that I think about it, but yeah, like, they don't have demon farms where they just raise demons, as far as we know, to be tasty, to have giant, tasty demon brains. So I'd assume it's similar with all forms of cattle. Like, they probably do keep normal cows, normal chickens, just because it's less weird if it's a completely separate species. Plus, if it's a completely separate species, I assume it just probably tastes better. So he's feeding whatever this mixture is. Like, nothing happened here. So what's going to happen here? Is this mouse going to become a demon? You think they can kill her? They will. You just have to trust Boss again on it. Oh, okay. It's turning. I'm pretty sure it's turning into a demon. We didn't get to see how many eyes it had before. It looks like it just has one eye here, but did it only have one eye here? Maybe? Psychoda. Everything is going according to Voss's plan. The Imperial capital, the evil-blooded. There's nothing to worry about. I mean, it feels like it's all under control. I guess the worst case scenario, now that I think about it, like my current plan has always been, or my current vision for the series has been Emma and Ray, finally meet Gargablarg. They talk it out. They're like, all right, so here's the scary choice. We got to go back home. We need to talk about it. At the same time, like this campaign's already halfway done. And then they have to decide, like, okay, is it like Norman's already halfway there? Do we let this happen? Or do we like do a hard shutdown? The worst case scenario, honestly, would just be if Emma and Ray do negotiate the promise there, like right there and then. Gargablarg's like, all right, demons will never hurt humans again. All's good. You can go home. And then Emma and Ray walk out and they see demon genocide. Like that would be a rough ending. Oh, these puffers are so cute. Oh my gosh. It's really the chins that I love. Like, look at how pronounced the chins are here and here. They're so good. I mean, Sonju Mujika seemed like they were very good at hiding their traces, so it might be a bit tricky. Like, they seem like the kind of people who would backtrack or who would make, like, false tracks. Oh, okay. So they're accounting for that. These are human bones, so it's not Sonju and Mujika. Okay. I haven't really considered that, but demons are basically just like people, so there probably are demons that just go into the woods and camp for a little bit for whatever reason. Like, just, to relax, to get away from it all, from bustling demon civilization. Are they actually going to meet Sanju and Mujika this chapter? That feels like it's going to, or it feels like we're going to get that as, like, the cliffhanger, for instance. Like, just based on this pacing. That is legitimately super cool. Also, is she eating a centipede, or is that supposed to be like the bones of a fish? Let's zoom in a little bit. Okay, so they are fish. So, yeah, she's feeding them the meat, and then she's like, I guess she might just be having a fish of her own. Never mind. I thought she was like picking up the bones and just eating those, but never mind. Man, like, she is incredibly impressive. Gosh. After she was saved by Boss and the others, she improved noticeably. I mean, if we had to lose Yugo to get Aishi, I'm completely happy with that. That's fine. Fair trade. Maybe the centipede here have bones. Oh no! I'm cursed. Deeply cursed. I do put a little stock into Zaku's theory of there's another person tailing them that will send out the killing blow, but I feel like the obvious option is just Aishi's going to kill Mujika immediately. The big question then is, how do they stop her? Like, how? Even if someone were to stand in front of her, like, I wouldn't say she's like a stone cold killer or anything from what we've seen, but she seems like the kind of person who does, she owes everything to Norman. If someone were standing in front of Mujika and Norman said, hey, shoot Mujika, she would probably shoot. The problem is we have the dogs, though. Like, they're definitely going to wake up first if you try to strangle her. Oh, boy. Oh, the classic. Also, that's a big honkin' spider. Boy, oh boy. Yeah, I mean, she is legitimately perfect. Like, she's the best suited for this role. How in the world are they going to find a weak point with her? Especially because she doesn't speak English, or she doesn't speak the human language. Like, I mean, it is English, right? We've seen them write things in English, so it is English. But, like, how? Yeah. I do like that, though. Like, thank you, Dawn. Thank you, Dawn. I've been rewatching season 1 of The Promised Neverland with Semblance of Sanity. Like, just I've been watching their reactions, and man, Dawn was so boneheaded at the start. I'm so proud of how far he's come. Like, both him and Gilda have grown so much, but I think of Dawn as growing a lot more, just because I remember Gilda being more competent back in the day. That's the thing. Yeah. Doesn't understand human language, plus he only talks to her dogs. So, like, you can't really play mind games with someone who has no idea what you're talking about. Hmm. Well, okay. Guess that didn't work. What is the plan? What can they possibly do? Like, I do trust Sonju to be able to, to protect Mujika. The problem is just like we can't, our main characters cannot be passive, or I guess our side characters at this point. Like, they can't just passively decide, okay, Sonju's gonna do it. Whatever. Let's just find him. But I cannot figure out what they could possibly do to stop Mujika, apart from just like, I don't know, like letting themselves be hurt or something, maybe? Like, just to distract her without being able to, like, without her being able to immediately go, like, oh no, you did that yourself. Maybe. Oh no. Oh no. Oh boy, Hayato. That is one heck of a jump scare. It's like, it either is a tree or it's really, really well blended into the trees. God. If I had to do like a one panel recommendation of the Promised Neverland, I might use this panel. This is a good panel. Okay, I mean, can she kill it immediately? Because, like, either way, if she can't kill it immediately, that shows that she has a weakness. If she can kill it immediately, that makes it a lot scarier for her to be, within like 500 yards of Mujika. Okay. So, Dawn, he whipped out those old school early Forest Arc survival tactics, and it seems like Aishi was really quite surprised by him. Incidentally, I was looking at the wiki recently, and apparently the wiki has this real horrible breakdown of all the arcs. Like, I think that most of the arcs in the Promised Neverland can be broken up by place. You've got Grace Fields, then the forest, then the bunker, bunker mini arc sort of, Goldie Ponds, bunker part 2, Kaviti Dala. The reason I'm bringing this up is because I'm pretty sure the wiki, the English wiki, I should say, calls, it goes the imprisonment arc, or no, it's the early, what was it again? I think it's like the intro arc, then the imprisonment arc, then the promised forest arc, which is a wild name for the forest arc. They also call the pen the promised pen, which just feels like weird branding. I don't know if that's a legit thing or not, but if that's what they're doing, then I think Kaiju Shirai and Posca really need to work on their branding. Why did you do something so dangerous? You could have died. It would have been easier and faster to just kill it. But okay. So that's what she was especially freaked out over. The idea of, wait a minute, you didn't kill it? But I mean, this is also a good way of like spreading their ideology. Not necessarily that, hey, don't kill the demons, but just why? Like, it might be a better option not to kill them. The footsteps, they were exactly like the horse. Oh, okay. What do we do if this turns out to be Sonji and Mujika? Yeah. Also, I didn't remember the horse prince at all. So okay, that's a really clever hint. Wait, what? Wait, what? Okay. So I guess Aishi was playing the long game, the extremely long game. So first of all, I mean, this is the classic Promised Neverland. Like, why is she talking here? Why did she give up the game that quickly? But also, like, powerful move. That's an extremely powerful move. I would not want to upset the person who is extremely good with a gun, who is most likely walking behind you, and who also has 3 real strong puppers. I mean, I guess part of it could be, she's willing to let them escape. That would be interesting. Like, supposedly, like, Norman's group didn't realize, as far as we knew, it didn't seem like they knew that she could talk. To be fair, they were feeding information to this group, so maybe they were just lying. But even, like, Jin and Hayato don't seem to realize that she can talk. So maybe she has, like, some small loyalties to the demons. Maybe she was cool with being treated as a pet or something. Or maybe she just genuinely thinks that this plan is a good plan. Alternatively, she might just kill both of them. Who knows? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Ultra big brain twists would be she's good friends with Zazie, and because Zazie, as we all know, is secretly a demon, she wants to get some of the evil blood in order to make Zazie immortal. Also a possibility. But yeah, like, that's the thing. I can't imagine a situation where she's, willing to kill, people who are traitors, and where, Dawn Gilda survive this. Like, either she shoots both of them in their sleep, or she's actually on their side / at least somewhat amenable to their situation. I mean, I guess there's the third possibility of she just tells everyone, hey, this was all a trick. I can speak just fine. Also, these two are traitors. Like, we're not going to kill them, but we're going to, like, tie them up or something. That's also a possibility. But it could go any way. It really could. Like, even this entire arc. Like, the easy answer would be, Mujika doesn't die because we need to know more from her. We need to hear her side of the story. She has a large, role left to play in the series. But realistically, Aishi could kill Mujika and it would be fine. Like, we'd still have to learn that information some other way, but it could be as simple as, well, I guess she's dead. Fantastic chapter. Like, it was a very talky chapter. It was a very, like, let's hype up Aishi chapter, but I don't dislike that in the slightest. Like, Promised Neverland knows how to do an exposition-y / mostly characters talking chapter in a way that is exciting and engaging. We still don't fully understand what this was. It seems to be like he's trying to isolate the specific, like, thing that turns normal animals into demons, which is interesting. Like, it could also be some sort of, like, demon genocide thing. But, like, clearly he said it's a success when the rat was transforming. I mean, I guess, like, isn't technically the case. Like, for all we know, this rat could have had just one eye in the middle from here in this shot. It could have just been weirdly drawn. And then this was some sort of, like, demon rat killing potion. But I feel like it's gotta be, he knows how to turn people into demons. Yeah, I think that's basically all the progress I can make in terms of theorizing here. Still, fantastic. It goes, that's a big question, actually. I don't think it was as good as Black Clover. I don't think it was as good as Chainsaw Man. I do think it was better than Actage, though. So, like, I don't know. Actage was more exciting this week, but I think I'll put it above We Never Learn. Like, I really liked this week's We Never Learn. And I think this was similar in the sense that, like, it had a solid pace to it. It might be war crime time. I mean, one of the big endings that we've never, no one's really theorized about could just be, the kids get to the human world and then the humans say, all right, well, you violated the Geneva Conventions. You're all going to prison. You're all going to Neo Gracefield House. But that is the Promised Neverland. Next is Dr. Stone, Z equals 109, Great Escape. So, we have, I assume this is an Arale reference. It has to be, because we have Arale's, like, wing thing on her helmets. The eyepieces look kind of like Arale's helmet, sort of, vaguely. Not really. Like, in terms of shape, not really. But in terms of shininess, maybe. And then the famous poop on a stick that is Arale's favorites. Also, like, I don't think the expression is very Arale-esque, but I think it is supposed to be doing that. I think that's what we're going for. Now, why we're doing Arale, I don't know. Like, either this chapter involves it either involves Suika, like, just doing some crazy science, destroying the entire ship with one swing of her fist, or it involves a whole lot of poop jokes. Some of that shonen humor. Let's see. Suika and Ginro make the perfect tag team to get the science lab out of enemy territory. I mean, we did see, Ginro was trying to nut up. He was trying to, get serious. But I'm not sure how he can help. Like, Suika makes sense. Like, she can get to the lab. It seems like she is getting to the lab. I assume, like, someone mentioned last week that it looks like they have a, like, sliding door that they could use to, like, deploy the lab. So, sure, get it out into the water. But then where does Ginro fit in? Apart from just being a distraction, maybe. I mean, it'll be useful for just, like, hiding the fact that this is machinery, that this is a special thing. If this gets into the water, people could just look at it and say, oh, that's a bunch of junk, I guess, whatever. Okay, Ginro, don't let down Kohaku. Don't let down this ugly, ugly woman. I mean, what did we expect? What did we expect? Ultimate move. Not my problem. What a Hisatsu waza. Right, since I survived, there's only me. I mean, can you look into Kinro's face and say that you're gonna abandon the ship? Oh, okay. I think he's just stealing him, which is also not a great plan because they can't revive him on the islands. I do feel for him though. Okay, this is actually the exact opposite of what I just said. I was envisioning Suika letting go of the lab while Genro just improvised a distraction, but I guess they're doing the exact opposites. Gotta get away together, right, Kinro? No, look in Kinro's eyes. Is this the face of a coward? Would Kinro tell you to leave here? Oh, wait, I thought this was just Kinro, I thought it was Genro thinking about what he would say, but actually, he is still awake in there. That probably is, these are his actual thoughts. I can't hear a thing, and all I see is darkness, so I have no way to be sure, but I believe in you. Even here in the dark, I just know it. This is what I'd say to you. Think hard. Think about what you're meant to do right now. All right, come on, Genro. Nut up, do this. Okay. It really is just some fruit husk. So, I guess you must have kicked it off then. Okay. Here goes. Oh, it really does look like some sort of wild animal there. Okay, so she's inside piloting it. Cool. Actually, we didn't see Genro board it, so maybe he's still off of it. Maybe he's still going to be on the ship. Okay. So he was on the ship, but he's jumping down. Nice. Also, now the gang's all united. They have the mobile lab. They can start to work on making Kohaku not a hideous beast. Oh, I did not consider that. In their minds, it has to be an animal. Actually, I guess this might be how the how Genro and Soyuz could help out. They understand the mentality of the villagers way better than Senku could. They'd be able to tell them okay, so this is what you could possibly get away with. This is the level of superstition they probably have. I could see that. Yeah, I could see it. It is, no matter what you want to say about it, it does look extremely moe. The Science Lab could be the next mascot character. What is he thinking? What is this? Okay, so he's looking at the jasmine. They have shells. I had no clue I'd find her use for the rotten ones. What are they doing? I actually don't know. Poop acquired. Oh no. We are doing shonen humor. Oh boy. So, I mean, that explains the Arale, I guess. Well then. I mean, Dr. Stone, come on. I thought you were better than this. How to make poop smell at home. This, more so than, making hydrochloric acid or making bombs. I feel like this is something they should have had, the Senku face of kids don't try this at home. Though, I mean, I guess the point of this is that kids can try it at home and it's not that bad. I've never done this before, but I kind of want to now just to see if that actually works. I've had jasmine tea. I've had stewed meat. I think I've had them in the same meal. I was not, I actually really want to try that now. Also, thank you, Mecha Senku. Yes. This lab has it all. We can even make poop. This, especially with the way in which, I forgot her name, it's on Amaryllis, the way in which she's posed, interesting panel. I don't know if I recommended someone Dr. Stone using this panel, I don't think they would pick up the series. Oh boy, would they not pick up the series. It really was a big smelly beast. Well then, that was the most shonen humor I have ever seen. Like, I mean, I've read not all of Dr. Slump, but a fair bit of it. I feel like this has more poop humor than the average chapter of Dr. Slump. What in the world? Not my fetish. Not at all. Not into this. No OOs for this. I mean, it was a good chapter. Even when it smells like literal poop, Dr. Stone can have a chapter that is literally all about smelly, smelly poop, and it can be better than most of the things in Jump, because Dr. Stone's that good. I mean, I can't in good faith put this above Actage. I liked it a lot, but I don't think I can. I have some level of dignity. I feel like this has to go. I mean, I can't lie though. It was a good chapter. I enjoyed it. We had some good progress, and it was actually funny. It made me laugh at poop jokes. So, I guess it was better than the Promised Neverland. Oh boy, what a thing to say. What a thing to say. Thank you, Boichi, for all this beautifully drawn shonen humor. We've got one final series. Let's get right into it. Next is... I appreciate everyone who comes in for the live streams, but I've got to say, my bridges between chapters are so much smoother in the pre-recorded version. Or, in the finalized version. It sounds like I'm saying next is My Hero Academia. It's so slick. It's the best. I mean, that does make sense. Like, yeah. Okay, homie. I won't spoil anything except for My Hero, because I'm currently reading My Hero. But that said, chat, be on your best behavior. I will try as hard as I can to not say anything specific about the chapters, apart from, like, the final rankings. In the final rankings, I will just say, I think this was better than this. But, man, oh man. I could watch Twice make more Twices all day, every day. It's just a safe... Yeah. Like, it is a ridiculously powerful ability. Even if you kick the bucket, the real you is still out there, so don't worry, we'll give you a nice funeral. That's actually really cool. Like, oh, is he making a new Shigaraki? I thought this was just the real Shigaraki. But okay, yeah. Like, of course, it would be fake Shigaraki who would say that. Oh my gosh. That's really cool, though, because, like, yeah. It must be real hard to be like, all right, so I have no memories of myself being created. Like, I'm pretty sure I'm me, but Twice is here, and he's saying I'm a clone, so I guess I'm gonna die. Oh, that's cool, too. Like, Mr. Compress did not meet them. Like, he probably doesn't know what's going on. Like, we haven't seen him quite a while now that I think about it. But this is the first time that a clone Compress has seen Twice clone himself. So even after this, we can still have the big, moment of... Actually, I don't know. We may have seen a shot of Compress, like, seeing all the Twice clones. But I don't know. We didn't get a focus shot of him recently, so I don't know if he knows. But to be fair, he swarmed the entire city with himself, so if Mr. Compress didn't see that, then he's probably dead. This clone double if he did meet up with Davi Compress earlier, so you're the versions who don't know they conquer my fear. Okay, so he did meet with them, but okay. That's an interesting note. Like, the different clones can create, different versions of the same person depending on what those individual clones have experienced. Like, that's so weird. No, don't do this again! Don't you dare! It doesn't matter who's who, not when our hearts are in it and our lives are on the line. Okay. Well then, what was that? Like, what actually was that? His finger is darkened. It actually reminds me a lot of, when Deku used to break his fingers. I know that's supposed to be, the Destro black stuff that's on his face as well. But that's all I can think of when I see that. Also, I mean, he said, creating more doubles and I'll kill Giron on the spot. That's not really the assumption should be if any of you make a move, he's going to kill Giron. Like, why would anything else be safe? What in the heck? Wait, what? Wait, what? Okay. Also, I like all these different Twice reaction shots. Is he going to lift the entire roof of the building up? Also, now that we're seeing this, like suddenly I feel a lot less. It feels a lot less reminiscent of Deku and a lot more reminiscent of like Luffy. What? Okay, so he didn't lift the building. I think it was more of just a general powerful big arm swing. Then there's got to be a better way to show that though. Like this kind of gives off a sense of power, but not really. It feels a little too messy. Though I do like that we follow that panel up right with this one, to get the sheer force of the explosion. Is Redestro Kendo's dad? I mean, we did see that Kendo is extremely powerful. Who knows? Who knows? I do really, really love Redestro, though. Like, he's such a cool villain. Like, in terms of just visuals, he reminds me a lot of, what was his name? I just said it recently. Gentle. Like, not in the sense of them being like 10 out of 10 villain designs, but in terms of them having like being so distinct, being so cool. Like, I like them so much. Don't apologize. People who don't do anything wrong don't have to say sorry. Oh boy. Once upon a time, a woman gave birth to a baby with a meta ability. With her small, solitary voice, she lambasted the world. This is just a quirk of my child. Let the world be a place where my child can live freely, she cried, but her petition was buried by a sea of scorn and sneers. That woman never got to speak out again. Do you know why? Because the anti-meta mob killed her. Also, that is really cool. Like, she is, she is the martyr, the one who presumably created the term quirk. During this time to perform, they brought the woman's complaint. Metability is just another trait of the individual, nothing but a quirk. Long live diversity. Let's change those old ways of thinking. However, I guess this is where we're going to see, like, do the MLA follow a more like Magneto vibe or a more Apocalypse vibe? To use the terminology that I've set up in my other reactions without actually setting them up in this reaction. Okay. Yeah. That is true. Like, the restrictions around meta powers / quirks is ridiculous. All they manage to do is keep people from using their abilities, but until everyone can wield those powers as they wish, our society will never know freedom. Destro understood this. So, I mean, the question there is, was he actually the child of that woman, or was he using it more of a, like, was he saying it in a more, metaphorical way? I mean, I guess based on that, if it really is, like, yeah, that is an inconvenient truth. Like, to have the person that they've named quirks after and to use the terminology of quirks, and where that probably also, oh my gosh, that probably showed up in the tell-all book that they've been publishing, that Shueisha has been publishing. Yeah, like, that gives Destro and eventually Redestro a lot of credence. Like, that's a big, yeah. That's also the problem with creating a figurehead or, creating a martyr. If it turns out that, something connected to that martyr is a bit less wholesome than you anticipated, or even not wholesome, even if it's just inconvenience, like, that's a big problem. Yeah, just not a metaphor. You're right. He does seem to be twisting his arm in place. Like, it is a whirling thing. So what is it? Is it just like pure control over his limbs, maybe? Like, actually, maybe the reason why it shows up on his face when he's stressed out is because it's like the power of control, maybe. Like, he can't, fear or, anger or whatever causes it to unconsciously manifest. But once it's manifested, he's able to take control of, his head. Maybe. Does your pitiful gang of thugs with nothing but the urge to destroy carry any of that burden of history that we do? I really do adore it, because, like, I know for a fact, like, they're going to be absolutely crushed by the League of Villains, and that's going to feel bitter. Like, it's going to leave a bad taste in my mouth in a good way, because this has been the story of how how the League of Villains go from being literally pointless to having a clear point, a clear goal, a clear motivation. And, like, it feels like every time they take someone down, they then manage to steal away a bit of what they have. So presumably this arc is going to end with them not picking up the desires of the Meta Liberation Army, but picking up their own desires, having their own clear path forward. Okay. When Sky attacked, I was hanging out the window a second ago. I locked eyes with him down below. Him? Oh, okay. Slightly less crazy than I thought. I swore. I thought it was going to be Gigantomachia. I thought that's what they meant by him, but okay. God damn. Yep, I mean, that's a very Shiggy thing to do. Just erase the whole tower. That's also a cool facet of Twice's ability. Like, he can create people, and then from there, he can ask them advice. Like, if he needed a broader perspective on certain things, as long as he knew the person well enough, he would be able to create a version of them that would say almost exactly what they would say. You're the one of those Detonat commercials. So, he didn't even know who it was, which, to be fair, he wasn't supposed to know, but still. And now we have, like, the full Destro mask, almost. Like, Destro's mask was much cleaner looking. Whereas this is much wilder, much, there's a certain character this reminds me a lot of. Kind of Spawn, almost. Like, not quite Spawn, but a little Spawn. Like, in terms of the almost, like, wing-like thing going on with his face. Okay, sorry, I wasn't really looking at the chat for a bit. Okay, so the difference between Magneto and Apocalypse, as I was trying to say, was Magneto is very much about mutant supremacy / mutant equality. Like, slightly more supremacy. It's the idea that, because you have a special ability, you are part and parcel above everyone else. And to an extent, like, as long as you have an ability, as long as you are a mutant, all mutants should be equal. It's just, mutants are the next generation. They shouldn't be oppressed by normal humans. They should be lauded as superior to other humans. A lot of what he wants is kind of the ideology of, the Japanese public in My Hero Academia. Like, it's a bit more extreme, but since, like, the vast majority of people have quirks, like, it is a mutant-dominant society, so to speak. So, like, that's kind of what I thought that's kind of also what, what the I'm trying to say their name. I forgot. The Metal Liberation Army is going for. Their idea is just like, yeah, sure, we want people to have quirks, and for people with quirks to be to be equals, to not be suppressed. And like they live in a society where quirks are being suppressed. Whereas Apocalypse is much closer to a the more powerful you are, the better you are. That was very similar to Ice Boy. I forgot his name, but the guy who can control ice but not create it. His ideology was much closer to that, the sense of, in the new worlds, whoever has the most powerful quirk or the most developed quirks, like those are going to be people who survive. It's survival of the fittest. That is the Apocalypse ideology. And the way he was saying it, he implied that's what the Metal Liberation Army was all about, even though that wasn't something we saw. So the reason I brought both of them up in this chapter was because, like, this is the moment. This is Destro himself saying what the Metal Liberation Army is all about. If he was going to do the big twist and say, like, even after everyone has quirks, we're going to start killing people who have shitty quirks. Only good quirks from now on. Like, that would have been more of an Apocalypse vibe. Whereas what he has said has been much more of a Magneto ideology. Like, yes, it's good that that people with meta abilities are the dominant force in society. However, like, society is suppressing us. Like, we still are not equal. They're just making people with quirks basically equivalent to people without quirks. If you have a quirk but you can't use it in public, do you have a quirk? But yeah, also, Magneto controls metal. Apocalypse has quite a lot going on. Like, as to be expected from someone who says, the more powerful you are as a mutant, the better you are. It's survival of the fittest. He is kind of the fittest, not the fittest. You gotta look at the list of Omega level mutants to see who the true fittest are, but it's like, Apocalypse is up there. Yeah, like, especially with the amount of wide range power that Shigaraki has now, it's gonna be hard to fight him at all. Like, especially if, like, the main thing, I guess, is just that he still has to touch things and destroy them. If he can start, like, just putting out a passive aura of destruction, then it's literally impossible for Deku to fight him. Like, if anything that enters a certain radius starts to fall apart, then that's it. I don't know how you fight that. I mean, I know, like, you could fight it with some sort of, like, teleportation quirk or something. I guess that would be, like, Deku's, like, extra quirks kicking in then. But, like, Shigaraki has, like, if it develops a little more, he's going to be, like, basically unbeatable by the vast majority of heroes. I do actually really like that Shigaraki did notice him from commercials. Like, it does feel a little weird, but at the same time, I can see it. Like, Shigaraki seems like the kind of person who also would not change channels during commercials, or like if he's watching YouTube videos, he wouldn't care enough to hit the skip ad button. He'd just be like, "Yeah, whatever. I'll just let it pass. I don't care." I am as far beyond mutants as they are beyond you. Yep, Damage, you know it's good. But yeah, so fantastic chapter. Like, it's again, I've been saying that this arc has basically everything I could possibly want from My Hero Academia. This chapter, like, I wouldn't say it was the full package, but it was a big part of the full package. Like, we have world building, we have backstory, we have strong ideology, we have characters I love meeting, a character that I didn't know that much about, but who I am growing to love for sure. I guess what he did here must have been like just making his finger grow really quickly and then immediately shrinking it back down, or something like that. Like, I immediately thought it was supposed to be some sort of like power boost, but I guess not. I would absolutely love it. And also, like, I feel like Horikoshi is definitely the kind of person who would team up with Marvel Comics for a bit. I mean, did he not? I feel like I remember seeing something along those veins. Yes, okay. I didn't see this at all. Oh man, this was announced in 2018? Jeez, okay, I'm gonna have to get around to that. But yeah, I do want to see that. It would be such a perfect fit. I wonder if the blackness is his muscles not getting oxygen. Possibly. Like, we've seen other characters in the series do weird things with their power quirks, like, like muscles do legitimately glow red when they're made stronger. Both like Deku, and there's a character in the My Hero Academia movie that does a thing like that vaguely. I still don't understand quite how it works, but like, there seems to be this general idea of like your body gets darker slash glowy when you gain strength. So I think it could be something like that, maybe. Yeah, like it could be, a lack of blood, but I think it is supposed to be just, like it's a power quirk slash a growing quirk. I'm guessing just power. Also, I do appreciate the small detail of, he is the CEO of Detonaught. Of course, his outfit would be one that does not, tear or shatter when he uses his meta ability. Like, why would it? Of all the people who would have, the stretchy Bruce Banner underwear, or, someone who would have that stretchiness applied to the rest of his outfit, it would be him. Of course. Why would it not? I kind of want Shigaraki to steal his outfits. Like, I guess it wouldn't work for him because Shigaraki doesn't have like a growing quirk or something. But I think it would be cool for Shigaraki to have an outfit that does not get destroyed when he uses his ability at all in the slightest. But like, an outfit that also looks cool, that isn't like a onesie. The outfit he has now is kind of okay, but it's still not the coolest. It feels a little too chunny to me. So, good chapter. Did I rank it? I don't think I did. No, I didn't. So that goes, honestly, probably on the same level as Chainsaw Man, maybe above it. Is it better than the Black Clover chapter? I think so. Like, boy, that feels weird. But like, in terms of sheer quality to hype, I think this was better than Black Clover. Like, Black Clover's chapter this week was very, very hype, and it pulled out one or two pretty cool things. But I think that this chapter had everything. Like, it had the excitement, it had the hype. I mean, we learned that Redestro is, the grandchild of the person who created the name Quirk. Like, the fact that he uses this, alternate term, despite being, I guess that's it, actually. Like, that makes way more sense. Like, of course he doesn't use the term quirk because it's a quirk, it's a term that his grandmother created. And it was co-opted by a government, by a society that he disagrees with. So, of course, he would use a different form of terminology because the term quirk infantilizes these meta abilities. And that's not what she wanted. That's not what he thinks she wanted. Of course, like, it works so well. It's so good. It's like I'm reading something that I don't know how to say it in a way that doesn't insult previous My Hero arcs, or that doesn't insult manga in general. It's everything I could have possibly wanted. All right, bye, homie. See you on the flip side. But yeah, so that's My Hero Academia. Let's quickly go to those author comments, and then we'll wrap it up for now. Also, now that homie's gone, feel free to talk about spoilers. If you sneeze and hiccup at the same time, it's something. It's really something. That sounds worrisome. A new Kabuki play of Naruto will be performed at Minamiza in Kyoto. Please check it out. Fujimoto excited about the watermelons. Check one for people just talking about food. I can understand that. Like, personally, I tend to wear jeans just like at any time in the year. I like jeans. They're nice. They keep, the wind and like mosquitoes and stuff off of my legs. They're just, they fit. They always work. But like my tops are always a struggle where it's like, I don't know. Generally, I get more hot than cold, so I'd prefer to wear short sleeves all the time. But yeah, sometimes it gets not great. Congratulations to Food Wars for an amazing run. Your arrival I was always chasing. I'll be awaiting your return. Yeah, I mean, I'm glad that, Yuki Tapta is giving that shout out to Food Wars because, I mean, it was a long running series. It was one of the, I wouldn't say it was a pillar of Jump actually now that I say it, but like, it was a big part of Jump. There's so many dishes and characters that I loved. Congratulations to the 3 creators on 6.5 years of amazing manga. Man, I never get hyped for summer movies just because, like, by the time we in the West get them, it's super late. Unless it's something like Dragon Ball Super Broly, where people are, like, sending out cam rips of that. More Food Wars. Giga Akatami always talking about Jujutsu Kaisen, as is normal, as is tradition. Atsuhiko Nakata's YouTube University is entertaining. Can I find that? I guess not. Man, like usually, like not a whole lot of people do this like big outpouring for a series that is ending. Like some do, but usually it's like a couple people do it when the series ends, and the rest do it in the next issue. It feels like everyone's just saying goodbye to Food Wars here. It's actually like I don't know why that surprises me. Like they do it regularly. It's just I guess because there's so many of them in one author comment section. Yep, and as expected, Sukuda got to do the final author comments because the other member of the team did it last week. Oh wait a minute, no, they both got it. Really? And join us in Giga if you can. Wait a minute, are we getting like an epilogue or something? Like in Giga? Because I know that happens sometimes, like either with Giga or with some of the other magazines, where like a series will end in Jump, but then they get like a little bit extra in another magazine. I actually made the thing that shows up in the story in my kitchen. It was smelly and gross. I wonder, like, is he playing coy here to try and get kids to read the chapter? Like, hey, there's a smelly, gross thing in the chapter. Go check it out. So wholesome, as always. You know what? I agree. I'm surprised there aren't more food devils. Like, apart from the tomato devil, we really haven't had any. Like, I mean, no. There was one during Power's intro arc. There was the one that Power just kind of like splattered. That was a food devil. I wonder which food devils would be powerful. Like, this might be a bit too much to get into during the author comments, but like, there are definitely some foods that people are like concerned about. But I don't think a lot of them are scary. Like, you have things like bugs and stuff, but usually people are afraid of those because they're bugs, not because they're food. Like, they're grossed out by the idea of eating them, but they're not grossed out of them. They're not grossed out by them in the category of food. Also, like, oh man, I would love to be there with Taishi Susui, presumably his wife, and then the 2 Food Wars mangaka, like just eating a meal together. That seems like a fun time. Boy, oh boy, that feels like an extremely like not long shot, but that feels extremely niche. And again, also something extremely niche. Boy, oh boy. Well, that's Weekly Shonen Jump for the week of June 16th, 2019. Nailed it. Nailed it in one. So, what am I trying to say? Finals are as shown. I don't really list them off anymore, but I do feel like at the very least, I got to put them on screen so you can see them. Really good week this week. I enjoyed myself significantly. I think these rankings are pretty fair. I wouldn't put anything anywhere else. Like, it does sadden me that the final chapter of Food Wars is right here, like super low, second to last, but that is legitimately how I feel about it. It was a good chapter, but it wasn't a good ending. Yeah, so anyways, thank you all so very much for watching. Sneak preview of what I'm going to put out later this week, just for you guys who are staying at the very end. Yep. Gonna do it. Finally. Catch you later. Bye for now. Nya nya.